A reader asks, who would I need to be to create the entire world through the sparkle eyes of love? I like that. My favorite emoji, other than the aloha, is the smiley face with the heart says eyes. And the reason I love that, similar to the reason I once bought some heart-shaped sunglasses that I didn't really wear that much because it was a bit too much. But I love the idea that if the eyes are made of hearts, then that means the eyes are seeing the world through love. So coloring the world with the idea of love. So who would I need to be to create the entire world through the sparkle eyes of love? For me, the answer is super simple. It's my orientation. It would need to be, I would need to be somebody who thinks only loving thoughts, who loves themselves completely and entirely. Because everything that I see out there, my seeing is the co-creation of the ideas that I have about the world and the sensory input, visual sensory input. So we call it seeing. There's the optical visual data that comes in through my retina, through the retinal nerve to the brain. And then we make meaning of it, and we call what I see out there. I see a laptop. Well, no, you see a bunch of light coming in, making an image in your mind, and then you have meaning story. You say laptop, right? So what our friend here is saying, how could I see the world through the sparkle eyes of love? I would need to only have stuff in here that when it meets the visual input, love is created. And so, how do I do that? I clean out anything that's not that. It would be judgment. Any ideas I have about something not being okay, being wrong. I mean, the sparkle eyes, that's an interesting term. That's literally the eyes of an innocent child. The eyes of a child sparkle with innocence and love. It's our natural state. So how do we return to love? We undo all the thoughts that we have about the world that get in the way. I think it's that simple. And if we focus on ourselves, how we think about ourselves, what we think about ourselves, I mean, that's the highest point of leverage for seeing the entire world, because everything we see in the world is a creation as an extension of our own idea of ourself. And I include our worldview as part of the self. I love the idea that Gandhi shared when he was asked, how did you create this capacity for nonviolence in your character? And he said, I focused on the goal of going an entire day without having a single violent thought towards my wife. And by that, he didn't just mean physical violence. He meant no negative, judgmental thought. Any thought that would be an obstacle to love, the goal was to go an entire day without having one of those. So how do you do that? Well, we could go for hours here, but just in real brief, I think the first and most important thing is the cultivation of witness consciousness so that you can see the thinking that's happening inside your mind. A meditation practice is obviously great for that. Self-inquiry, bringing that into awareness so you can lean back and you can watch the activity of the thinking mind. And then some kind of process of inquiry or, again, meditation, that once you can see the arising of a thought that has energy and emotion and judgment, you can pull it apart. Vipassana meditation, see and pull apart the thoughts, the sounds, all the different sensory experiences you're having internally, so that you become more disassociated from it and it loses its power over you. Inquiry, know thyself, understand the neural net and web of meaning and how it's tied together that even produces that thought in the first place. By deconstructing it, you can take its power away and it becomes less habitual. So you can de-habituate, is that a word? The pattern of thinking over time. So I hope that's helpful. Thank you for your question. Signing off with Sparkle Eyes of Love. Bye for now.